Good morning and welcome to Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and NBT World. It's Monday, March 2nd, 2015, and you're with me, Surapan Lautharanarit. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. First up, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha affirms the government's commitment to achieve national reform by adhering to the roadmap outlined by the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO. In order to adhere to the roadmap, he said the work of various committees of the NCPO and the government is proceeding in a parallel and systematic manner. Various undertakings are achieved through these committees. According to General Prayut, the Committee for the Driving of Strategies of the NCPO, chaired by Deputy Prime Minister Prawit Wongsuwan and co-staffed by NCPO personnel, facilitates parallel work. He said relevant committees are following up on the implementation of important or urgent policies, which must be realized quickly.
การดำเนินงานของคณะกรรมการขับเคลื่อนกขน.ของรัฐบาลนั้นจะเน้นในเรื่องสำคัญ5ด้านนะครับด้านความมั่นคงได้แก่นโยบายในการแก้ปัญหาการค้ามนุษย์ประมงแรงงานต่างด้าวการแก้ไขปัญหาขยะการจัดระเบียบสังคมการบังคับใช้กฎหมายอื่นนะครับที่สำคัญในด้านเศรษฐกิจก็เช่นนโยบายการพัฒนาโครงสร้างพื้นฐานการบริหารจัดการน้ำระยะแรกการดำเนินการเขตเศรษฐกิจพิเศษระยะแรกการแก้ไขปัญหาราคาสินค้าการเกษตรที่จะต้องดูแลเป็นแต่ละรายแต่ละภาคส่วนไปนะครับทั้งในเรื่องของต้นทุนเรื่องของตลาดนะครับเรื่องการเพิ่มความเข้มแข็งของสหกรณ์เหล่านี้นะจะได้เป็นการช่วยเหลือเกษตรกรอย่างยั่งยืนนะครับ
The Prime Minister believes quicker progress can be achieved if the government, the NCPO, and the working group work in tandem. In order to ensure that budgets are used in accord with the objectives, audits will be made by the existing State Budget Inspection Committee, he added. The government has successfully secured the release of 4 Thai fishermen who were captured by Somali pirates 5 years ago. The men identified as Goson Dwangmaket, Chanarong Nawara, Ton Wiya Singh and Thanakon Keo Kamkong were among 24 crew members of the Taiwan-flagged fishing boat named FV Prantali, which was hijacked in April 2010. 6 of the crew members died of illnesses, and 14 others, who are Burmese, were freed. The government attributed the release of the 4 fishermen to tireless efforts of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and related agencies. The men have returned to their home country. They are scheduled to meet Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha today to express thanks for the government's assistance. The Ministry of Defense confirms that its proposed amendment to the 1955 Act on the organization of military courts does not seek to detain civilians, saying that the amendment will empower military commanders to detain only military personnel committing offenses. Following several international organizations' concerns over the amendment to the Act, the Ministry has issued an announcement to clarify the revised legislation. It said the amendment is aimed at facilitating military commanders facing special conditions and circumstances that prevent them from having access to military courts in detaining the military personnel who have violated military law. The amendment will authorize the military commanders to detain them until they have access to military courts. Here, no civilians are involved. The ministry stressed that in normal circumstances, military courts had no jurisdiction to detain civilians, whether in peacetime or wartime. However, due to an announcement by the National Council for Peace and Order, military courts have jurisdiction over a number of specific offenses and violations, which may, as a result, involve civilians coming under military courts. The ministry added that some civilians had been detained by the military since they violated martial law. In this case, the military could detain them for no more than 7 days for questioning purpose. The president of the National Reform Council, or NRC, is calling a meeting with all members this week to review the report on the establishment of a National Virtue Assembly and related laws. NRC President Tianchai Kiranan has issued an invitation to all Reform Council members to attend the meeting on March 2nd and 3rd, which is today and tomorrow. Meeting agendas include an acknowledgement of the progress report of the Constitution Drafting Committee and a review of the report on the formation of a National Virtue Assembly. In addition, the NRC is also to deliberate the draft National Virtue Act, which was proposed by the Committee on Ethics and Governance and has already been reviewed by the NRC whip. Among topics slated for March 3rd are a review of the Energy Reform Committee study related to the promotion of electric cars in Thailand. The chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, has affirmed that the essence of the drafting of the new charter focuses on people, clean politics, social justice, and peace, while revealing a plan to propose a public referendum for the draft constitution. According to CDC Chairman Bawonsak Uwano, the new charter has always been drafted in such a way that empowers the people, promotes clean and balanced politics, encourages justice in the society, and brings peace to Thailand. Mr. Bawonsak stated that the upcoming constitution will make the politics of the people as important as that of politicians, as the public will have a say in a public referendum for any constitutional amendment, while setting up a National Virtue Assembly to monitor the ethics of politicians of all levels, for instance. He added that the planned 16 reform efforts that are underway will also be instrumental in minimizing inequality in the society, which will help achieve reconciliation as well. The spokesman of the Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, has revealed some details about the coverage of the draft charter. CDC spokesman Kamnoon Sithisaman said the charter drafters have reviewed more than 100 articles of the draft constitution. As a result, there are now 310 articles, excluding 10 suspending clauses, included in the new charter, Mr. Kamnoon said. He added that the total number of articles under the upcoming charter is only one article more than the 2007 Constitution, but fewer than those covered by the 1997 Constitution, which had 339 articles. During the retreat, the CDC resolved to propose the setting up of a 50-member People's Council for each province, tasked with the inspection of the use of power by the government in their respective province. Over 1 million tons of leftover rice in the government warehouses nationwide will be put up for auction that will be taking place early this month. The Commerce Ministry invited local rice entrepreneurs to participate in the second rice auction of 2015, with 1,008,837 tons of rice on offer. The Department of Foreign Trade held a press conference to explain details of the TOR to potential bidders on February 26th. On March 5th, those who want to bid for the rice should submit necessary documents, such as their company profiles, to the department, and the auction day is set for March 6th. During the first auction held on January 29th this year, the ministry managed to sell 496,000 tons. Previously, the ministry expressed its intention to sell all 17.8 million tons of rice under the Rice Mortgage Project within 2 years. In 2015 alone, the ministry plans to sell up to 10 million tons through auctions. The National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission, or NBTC, has started enforcing a regulation making digital channels standardize the audio volume of their shows and advertisements at -1 decibel. The campaign started yesterday. Secretary General of the NBTC, Thakon Tantasit, explained that his agency deemed the move necessary as several TV shows and commercials are using high volume to attract the audience, thereby manipulating them to receive their contents. Mr. Thakon said the practice is considered unfair to customers, adding that it also causes noise pollution without a good reason. At the beginning of this year, the NBTC contacted digital TV operators about the matter, giving them 2 months to prepare for the implementation. Beginning on March 1st, all shows and commercials on digital TV must normalize audio volume to -1 decibel at most. A huge number of shoppers flocked to orchid and traditional floating markets along the Padung Krung Kasem Canal as a farewell to both attractions, which ended on Sunday. Both the orchid market and the traditional floating market were packed with visitors who spent the last day of the events snapping up beautiful flowers, yummy local food, and handicrafts offered by hundreds of participating operators from different parts of the capital. The market project was a joint effort between the government and the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. It was aimed at stimulating income of local operators affected by the sluggish economy. The activity ended yesterday in order to open the way for the event called Thai Rice Thainas. The orchid market will be moved to the marketing organization for farmers in Jatuchak district, where it is set to start its operation on March 5th. More than 1,400 doves from 4 countries, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, joined in the dove cooing contest held in Thailand's southern province of Pattani during the weekend. During the opening ceremony, Governor Weerapong Keaosuwan said the charity event was aimed at raising money to help support education and welfare programs for victims of Deep South violence, including orphans and the disabled. According to an owner of cooing doves from Malaysia, it is the first time he has registered his birds in the contest. He said he was warmly welcomed by Pattani residents, adding that he would be looking forward to joining the event again in the future. Located in the center of Amphawa Floating Market, the Amphawa Chai Patana Nurak Conservation Project, supported by the Chai Patana Foundation under the royal patronage of Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn, is a center that offers tourists and visitors knowledge about the local way of life of the Amphawa community. Kun Suchani Rungmuanporn has this story.
In the past few years, Amphawa gained fame as a huge floating market destination located just 2 hours away from Bangkok. It becomes a landmark that draws a huge number of tourists coming from all over the world to experience a local people's way of life and their art and culture based on lifestyle centered on agriculture. In order to preserve and revive the customs of the Amphawa community amidst the social change, the Chai Patana Foundation, under the patronage of Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn, founded a scheme called the Amphawa Chai Patana Nurak Conservation Project on a huge piece of land donated by the Amphawa resident in 2008 with the intention of the lands being used to preserve customs and traditions of the community and to be a center of knowledge about the community for the tourists and visitors, and to support the residents economically by helping them to create more values for their products made from local ingredients or materials and finding a market for them.
What we're trying to do here is that not just to only promote the boat market, which is very famous and very well known, but we want the tourists and the people here to come into the orchard and know the value of it and learn and study about it.
The conservation project today has become a center of collaboration to conserve and develop the traditions of the community. The implementation is focused on local participation, with the Thai Patana Foundation as a planner and facilitator to ensure cultural conservation and social development on the path on self-reliance and sustainability.
At the end of the story, this project will be one of the mechanisms that help promote the better quality of life of the people. And what we think would be the solution is that this project should be run and should be organized by the local people community by themselves. So in terms of successful, we're still in the process of development, but we would like to transfer this development to the local people. So we want to coordinate them and to involve them into the developing process. So at the end, if the local people can get together and can gather and also form as a managing and as the management of this, and they use this place as a tool or mechanism to create the prosperity for the people in the area. So that would be the end goal of the project.
On the land of the foundation, you will find an integrated fruit farm, an agricultural demonstration garden where there are authentic coconut sugar making processes demonstrated by the farmers, the community market ground where they demonstrate activities related to lifestyle of the people along the Meklong River, the community exhibition room that offers information and activities involving local culture and wisdom that anyone can participate, and the community shop selling and promoting local goods so that they become well known. The foundation is located by the canal inside the area of the floating market opposite Amphawa Jetiyaram Temple. For more information, please visit the foundation's website at www.amphawanurak.com. Suchani Ruman.
And that's all for today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 9th core value, being conscious and mindful of actions in line with His Majesty the King's royal statements.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
NBT World, a 24-hour English language television service operated by the National News Bureau of Thailand, or NNT, is designed to bring the most reliable information about Thailand to the international community. NBT World is available on various platforms, including via C-band set-top boxes, GMMZ Channel 202, PSI Channel 272, and a live stream on thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. You can also follow us on facebook.com/NNT News or download the PRD News EN application on your smartphones. NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Welcome back to Newsline. Australia will trial an enhanced aircraft tracking system with neighbors Indonesia and Malaysia in response to the unexplained disappearance of Malaysia Airlines MH370 nearly a year ago, government officials said on Sunday. The system improves tracking of wide-body passenger aircraft over oceans where there is no radar coverage. Wide-body aircraft will transmit details of their location to satellites every 15 minutes instead of around every 30 to 40 minutes as at present, Deputy Prime Minister Warren Truss told a news conference. Aviation officials said it would be easier to detect the divergence of an aircraft from its planned flight path and enable a faster response. Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 disappeared in March last year with the loss of all 239 passengers and crew on board. Truss said Australia had worked closely with Australian-based airlines Qantas and Virgin Australia to develop the new technology and global satellite provider Inmarsat. The Boeing 777 aircraft disappeared on March 8th last year, shortly after taking off from the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. Months of searches have failed to turn up any trace. Britain's Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, toured the studios of Nippon Hoso Kyokai, or NHK, on Saturday and was greeted with dancing geishas, traditional entertainment in ancient feudal times. Actresses wore the costume of the traditional Japanese entertainers known as geishas and performed a dance with fans for the prince. William, Queen Elizabeth's grandson and second in line to the throne, delighted his hosts in donning the war helmet and jacket for a samurai warrior. The studio, which is the set of a popular television drama reenacting the final days of the Tokugawa period, continued the theme and lined their halls with actors dressed as samurai warriors as William walked through. British Ambassador Tim Hitchens also entertained in trying on a Tokugawa period wig. William, however, said his brother Prince Harry would certainly delight in making fun of him if ever he did the same. And that's the end of today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or simply visit us at our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsin. And for now, we're going to say goodbye with a big bike event in Yala province. I'm Surapan Lautara Narit. Thank you for your company and have a wonderful day. สวัสดีครับ